Hello everybody and welcome back once again to another battle report from War Dog Gaming Battle Reports. It's good to be back. And guys, I hope you're all doing superb out there in this fine summer day. Yeah, it's a bit rainy down here in Sweden, or up here in Sweden maybe for some of you. And it's a bit cloudy, but the weather has been absolutely smashing otherwise. Yes, it's been great for almost a week now, I gotta say. So we felt that it was about time to use my balcony once again for another little game. So me and Danny Boy, we went together and said that now it's time to play some Knife Age. So guys, we can now introduce another battle report for you guys. So let's move over and see what myself brought with me this time. Introduction song is called Pray with Parkway Drive on a great Australian band. If you haven't heard it, then go and check them out. Yes! Look at this, guys! They are back! The Rats! Been a long time coming, I say. Or maybe, no, actually the previous battle report was with the Rats, but I've been playing so much on UB as of late because of this corona crisis, you know. So I haven't been playing the Rats for that much at all, to be honest. It's been mostly goats for all that counts. So anyway guys, I thought that it was time to bring out the Rats, and I also wanted to bring out something different, something super different from what I usually play, to take me out of my element, so to say, and also to show you guys a little bit more of my range of models also. So this is, I would probably say that this is a kind of fluffy list. This is nothing that I would take to a tournament, but it has been, I have been having two games with this, the one that you will see today, and then I had a game on UB with this list as well, and it performed a lot better than I expected, to be honest, in that game then. It was against Silver Elves though, so I think Rats are the favorite in that matchup, so it might be that as well. But anyway guys, enough chatter, let's look at the list. For starters, we have a Sheep on a Bonebreaker with Flaming Banner and 3 and Magic Resistance and a 3-up save, that's it. Then Magister, Forsten is on his foot now instead, and he has Witchcraft. And he's a Scepter of the Vermin, says Stay Behind with 2 channels. So basically he's just a channel battery for the Vermin Demon, but also Witchcraft is a pretty underrated path, I gotta say, and I wanna try to showcase my skills with Witchcraft. So then also of course we have the Vermin Demon, because I haven't played him on any battle report, so I felt like it will be time to show you guys what the Vermin Demon can do and what kind of model that I use for him. Then we have 2x20 Giant Rats, 45 Clan Rats with the Endless Swarm Banner and Full Command, 24 Storm Vermin with Lightning Rod and Standing Bear and Musician. Lightning Rod is there just to protect the Vermin Demon basically, so he doesn't get shot off the board turn 1. Then I have some Meat Grinders, some Vermin Hulks, 7 of them, champion, Dreadmill, 11 Grenadiers, yeah, Grenadiers, gonna try them out. I have some excellent, well, I have some very cool models for these guys, so they are basically here just so I can show you guys what kind of models that I use for them. Then we have 2x3 Yzales and then 2 Napta launchers. That's my list. Okay then guys, enough about that, let's move over and see what Danny Boy brought out this time.
I wanna breathe like I'm brand new. Why can't I feel like I'm supposed to? Don't you feel the pressure? I do. Tell me this will end soon. My mind's running away, a mile a minute, can't shake it off. A free fall, I'd give anything to make it stop.
introduction song is Infinite with Silverstein. Yeah, great band. Look at this, guys! The Lizards are back. That's usually what Danny Boy plays also, so, and he really wanted to try out this new list that he had made. So let's check it out. Okay, so he has a Quarterlord, the big toad. He has Divination, like he usually plays Divination nowadays. I think it's one of the better paths for Lizardmen for sure. Then he has Grasp of the Immortal and Symbiosis. Also he has a 2 8 icons and Talisman of the Void. So that guy alone has 3 channels. Yeah, that's a lot. And 2 with Magic Resistance. Also he has a Skink Priest with Shamanist, a Wizard Adept with, yeah, as I said, Shamanist, Skink Peliquin, Obsidian Rock and Sun Tablet. So a nice little extra magic boost there. And then he has some 27 Saurian Warriors and 15 Skink Braves in core. The Skink Braves has Shield and Poison Javelins. And the Saurian Warriors has 8 Rykon and full command with the Serpent upgrade. So that means the Skink Priest in that unit will make sure that the unit has 3 in magic resistance. So a lot of magic resistance going around here, I'm gonna say. And then he has 6 Caimans with Halvard and Musician. Then he has 26 Temple Guards with full command, totem of. I wanted to even try to pronounce that. Then he has 9 Chameleons, 9 Skink Hunters with Blowpipes, 2 Weapon Beasts as Spearbacks, and then running it off with an Engine of the Ancients. Alright guys, what do I think about the list? Yes, this is something that Danny Boy usually plays, and it usually gives me a lot of trouble. I think for sure he has the upper hand here, since Divination on with Symbiosis. That means he can deal out the magic missiles from either the Engine of the Ancients or the Skink Priest, which will mean that my Vermin demon will have to hide for basically the entire game. or he will struggle anyway if he gets too close. So yeah, it's he has all the tools that is necessary to deal with my list, that is for sure. But I will not let myself go down that easily. No, I am the rat here. I am the rat player, so I will do my best. Okay guys, let's jump into the battle report and see how this went. Good to be back, guys, yet with another battle report. So welcome back everybody to the War Dog Gaming channel, and to all you new viewers out there, welcome to the War Dog Gaming channel, where we do only knife age content for your pleasure and entertainment. Okay then guys, so this is the layout of the table. Alright, and for this time we played classical battle line, so it's frontline clash, and the secondary objective is breakthrough. So it's all about getting your scoring units over to your opponent's side. That's it. Alright guys, so like always nowadays, I have done a couple of recordings for both the deployment phase and what kind of spells we took. So let's start off by looking at our spell selection. And then over here for spells, look at this. We have Awaken the Rat, Guiding Light, Scrying, Stars Align, Unerring Strike, No Thine Enemy on the Big Lord. Then we have some Witchcraft spells, Evil Eye, Twisted Effigy, and the Wheel Turns on this little fella in the Clan unit. That is the rat spells. Then let's jump over and see what Danny Boy took for spells. Then for the stinky lizards, they have Break the Asshole, Spirit, Swarm of Insects, Awaken the Beast, Scarification. And then for Divination, of course it takes Divination against me, yes. It has Stars Align, Unerring Strike, Known Thine Enemy as well, and Fate's Judgment for this, no, not that one, for that nasty toad. And that's the other guy with Shamanism. There we have. And Danny is setting up the deployment for the moment. Let's see what kind of nasty stuff he would do this time. Guys, so for the battle, we had a roll-off. Danny won the roll-off on which side he want to have. He took this side, so then I got the opportunity to drop everything to go first, which I did. So let's head over to my video recording and see how I deployed. Alright, so here we have the rat's deployment. Look at this. We have here a little Napta thrower. Then some Storm Vermin with a lightning rod. then doing? Then some Globadiers. Look at them. First time on the channel. Some sweet ass Globadiers. Then we have down here some Giselles, some giant rats. I think they maybe are on their first time on the channel as well. Then some more Giselles. Then some rat ogres. Then the Vermin Lord. First time I'm having him on the channel as well. I usually don't play him because I really don't like the unit, but let's try him out. Then we have some clan rats with a meat grinder, another meat grinder, another napper thrower, and some more giant rats. And that's the rat deployment, guys. So now we know how the rats deployed. Let's head over to Danny Boy's recording and see how he deployed himself. Alright, welcome Danny, back to the channel. So what do we have here today then?
Here we have 27 Saurus warriors with spears and the serpent, and they have either icon for command.
Nice. The guy in the middle then.
We have a skink shaman, a shaman.
Yeah.
He has obsidian rock and sun tablet.
Okay, nice. Alright, over here.
We have 2 spike lizards, or
Nice.
spearbags, that's what it's called now.
Yeah.
6 caimans with champion, musician.
Musician only,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
And Taurosaur with the ancient,
Ancient,
and
okay.
ancient engine.
Okay.
We have 26 temple guards with the slan.
Alright.
Full command, and they have totem of Mixiotl. The unit has a totem.
Yeah, sweet.
He has 2 either icons, and he has Talisman of the Void, and he has 2 to cast, 2 to channel from the
Yeah. So 4 channels altogether.
altogether 4 channels.
Yeah.
With the skink,
Cool.
and he has symbiosis also.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And we have a 9 skink hunters with blowpipes.
Yep.
And we have 15 skink braves with poison javelins and shields.
Nice. And
With a musician.
with a musician. And what do we have down here then?
9 chameleon skinks.
9 assholes waiting to have scouted. Right, sweet. And the painting is off the charts as always. Really, really nice list. I really enjoy this. Okay, man. Let's game on. Game on indeed, guys. So turn 1, rats. Right. Turn 1 rats. Yeah, here's just another picture of his deployment, and here's another picture of the rat deployment, so you get a better overlay how it looks like. And then here's movement, turn 1 for the rats. So basically the whole idea is just to push him into the corner, because I have a pretty pushy list, I think. Most of my things are pretty decently mobile. It's not super mobile, but and it's all about getting basically the rat ogres into combat as soon as possible, and also try to avoid the demon from getting blasted with divination spells. That are my plans. Also, I wanted to have my giant rats to clear out the flank here because of the chameleons over here, so I'm protecting the flank over here. Okay, after that we went into my magic. I got this card, number 8 spell card, which was a little bit unnecessary for the first turn, I think, because I really didn't have any targets to cast my magic missiles at. So yeah, so that's why I'm saving 3 channels, or well, 3 tokens. Okay then, so basically not much happens in the magic phase, because I had a 9 dice to Danny Boy 7. I tried to 5 dice Twisted Effigy on the slan. He dispel leveled all his dice, and then I tried for some spell, failed that one, and then got off scrying on the rat ogres. That's it. And then also put the attribute on the assails actually, because in case they are gonna do a couple of misfires here. Alright, then we go into the shooting phase. And basically I don't have any range for anything, or I don't have any good targets to shoot at. I think the Sail tried to shoot at, was it the weapon beast perhaps, but they had soft cover because they are, well, they are behind the hill here, giving them soft cover. And the other Sails just moved, so there was basically not much happening in this turn except for me making a super push. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. Okay, then we're off to Danny Boy Lizards, turn 1. So we go straight into both after shooting and magic. So this is basically after end of turn 1 lizard things. So I have to explain what happened. So let's rewind. Okay, for starters, he moves up with everything, so it looks like this. He's basically well, cutting off the board diagonally here and preparing himself for the oncoming swarm. That's basically it. And also he's taking his skinks up here on his right side to try to go over and claim the objective. His chameleons are rushing forward to try to take care of my giant rats because they're out of the leadership bubble from the Vermin Lord. So he's hoping to cause a panic check here and try to make them flee off the board. What else? Yeah, that's what he basically does in the movement phase. Then we go into his magic phase. He gets also the number 8 spell card. And then he tries to throw a bunch of magic missiles on me. I take all my dice to dispel Unearing Strike. Then he throws Face Judgment on the Rat Ogres. Got a 5, but I rolled 2 6s on their saves. So he killed off 1 complete Rat Ogre. And then also he got off rerolls to hit on the spearbacks, which is a little bit annoying. Then we went into his shooting phase. And the shooting phase was really good for him, I gotta say, because okay, the chameleons didn't do that much, but we weren't expecting that much from them either, to be honest. But the spearbacks though, they killed off the Napta thrower that was behind the clarets here. I'm gonna show you guys. Here, well, it's super hard to see him, but he's here anyway. And then, as I said, the spearbacks kill him off, which forced me to take a panic check on the meat grinder because it's insignificant as well. It was outside of the leadership bubble from the Vermin Lord as well, so yeah, a little bit of a mistake on my part here, to be honest. Fail the leadership 8, of course, with no reroll, so then it has to run from the closest enemy target, which were the chameleons in this instance. Which means that it ends up here. So yeah, really didn't do that much though, but it was a little bit annoying, more than anything else. That was Danny Boy's turn 1, so off the rats, turn 2. Rats turn 2, so this is basically what happens. Okay, so for starters we have 1 charge, giant rats into the chameleons. Since he placed the chameleons as close as he did, because, well, he didn't want to shoot me through the forest, so he wanted to prevent me from having soft cover, that's why he went so close. And that gave me a pretty easy charge to go into the chameleons, which looks like this. So, he had to take it, because otherwise he will probably get overrun. Then after that we rally this little bugger over here, the meat grinder, which we can see here, a lovely little model. Then he's looking in the left direction. Right, so basically this is what happens in the movement phase of the rats. So we keep on pushing with the rat ogres. The whole plan is to throw them into combat as soon as possible. Also, the Vermin Lord doesn't really have any use for his magic missiles in this game. If we're gonna have a spell of me and the lizard things, he's gonna lose 100%. So basically all that I would use him for now is to buff my rat ogres into oblivion, or as much as possible. Also, the clarets are moving up a couple of inches just to give my rat ogres a counter charge if necessary. That was the whole idea here anyway. What I failed to do though was to measure the leadership bubble from the Vermin Lord over to the clarets, which, guys, yeah, will come into use later, but we take it when it comes. Alright, otherwise guys, as you can see it, basically the idea with the storm vermin here is just to go up to claim the objective. The globadiers, just pushing them up forward, wanna try to shoot at whatever as soon as possible. Their main goal will be to try to take out the stegodon, but it seems like it's pretty hard to reach over there. Also, giant rats, I take up the second unit of them to make sure that I have backup here on the left flank, because Danny Boy is putting a bit more pressure here now on this flank, so that's what I feel necessary to do. Alright, with that said, let's move over to the magic phase. Right, so in the magic phase, basically what we do is that we get off a couple of buffs on the rat ogres. I think we got scrying and what's it called, agility buff and weapon skill buff on them, and also the attribute from divination. That's it. Also, we got off twisted effigy on the slam mage here. As you guys can see, we got also the number 6 spell card, or maybe it is this number 7 spell card. Looks like the number 7 spell card. So it's a super good magic phase, I gotta say. And then we went into the shooting phase. I tried to shoot off the weapon beast. I got one hit, but Danny Boy saved it on his 5+ ward save. That was basically it. Nothing else is in range to shoot anything. So after that we move into the combat phase, and yeah guys, as you can see, the chameleons just got super overrun. I think I killed like 7 or 8 chameleons before he got to strike back, and then he did nothing back and auto broke and I ran him down. So with that said, let's move over to Lizard Things turn 2. Alright, so like I mentioned earlier, the Clarets are out of the leadership bubble from the Vermin Lord, and Danny Boy is a pretty skilled player, so he sees that straight away. He measures from the Vermin Lord to the Clarets and sees, yeah, what's the leadership on your Clarets? I was like, right now it seems like an 8. And then he measures from the BSB, which is here, sees that they are outside of the BSB as well, and then says, okay, I'm gonna declare charge my Stegodon into your Clarets. Forces me to take a terror check. I roll an 11, and then they, since I have no reroll, I roll flee distance, and this is what happens. Yep, I roll a 12. So it's 11 and then 12, which means this happens actually. Yeah, so that's super bad, because now they will run over my Giselles. You see guys what I needed to roll. I think anything below 10, yeah, anything below 10 will have made them fit here in this gap. That yeah, so it was super unfortunate here actually. So yeah, that entire Claret unit went off the board, which makes it look like this instead. Pretty empty on my left side now, so the entire left side got totally shattered by that Stegodon charge. Not good. The ESAs though managed to actually pull off the leadership 9 from the Vermin Lord. Thank goodness for that. Then Stegodon has no other targets to redirect into, so he just fails charge a 5 forward. So yeah, not good for the rats, super good for lizard things.
Man, this is some bullshit!
With that major setback for the rats, Danny Boy Lizard moves on forward. He basically chaps my rat ogres with his spearbacks, and then he goes up forward full steam ahead with his skinks, trying to claim the objective as well. The rest of his line is actually moving back a couple of inches because he's respecting the rat ogres. Yes, I don't know if he respects them too much, but the whole idea here from Danny Boy's perspective is that he wanna have at least one more turn of magic onto the rat ogres before he goes into combat with them. That's movement for lizard things. Then we go to Danny Boy's magic phase, and he gets number 5 spell cards, a super nice spell card. Alright, and then basically what he does is that he tries for a magic missile on my rat ogres, the Unnearing Strike. I dispel that one. Then he tries to cast Phase Judgment on them again, fails to cast it. After that I think he tried Swarm of Insects somewhere, maybe on the demon or somewhere, I can't remember exactly what, failed to cast it as well. With that he then tried to buff his Saurian block. That's it. So super unfortunate magic phase for Danny Boy. I think he whiffed pretty bad on the dice rolls here actually, so he wasn't that impressed. And after that, since we have no real combat, we have a little bit of a shooting phase though. The skinks plinks off a giant rat or something. I think they killed 2 more giant rats over here. That was basically it, because the spearbacks marched, so he had no more shooting. With that said, we're off to rats, turn 3. Right, yes, finally, my rat ogres will get something to put their teeth in. Nice. So rat ogres charges his chef. I'm just happy that they finally can kill something. And then for the rest of the movement it looks like this. I turn around the giant rats to look at his skinks. I then also make sure that he can't move around me with his skinks, so I take my giant rats here to cut off the flank here. Cut off all angles. Globadeus are moving towards the Stegodon because now it's out in the open, so I wanna try to push them towards him as soon as possible, also to protect this flank. Then the rest of the battle line looks like this. I think it's now time to push up the Vermin Lord actually. give him one round of magic to try to put him off the table. If not, then I will probably be able to charge him and then get stuck into combat for the rest of the game, which means that the Vermin Lord will probably be well, it will be more safe than out in the open anyway. Then for the rest of the line it looks like this. It's a pushy list, so I'm just doing what the list is supposed to do. So with that said, we go over to the magic phase. And basically what I do is that I try to buff my rat ogres as much as possible. Now I don't have as many dice because the stupid Torsten ran off the board with his clan rats, so my amount of challenge right now is just 1, which is a bit of a problem actually. But I get off anyway scrying and weapon skill buff or agility buff on my rat ogres, and also the attribute. Danny Boyd threw all his dice to the spell rerolls to hit. He really doesn't want me to have that. Alright, then we go into the shooting phase. And well, basically not much happens in the shooting phase. I think the Gisales shoots at Stegadon once again. Did absolutely nothing to him, whiffed again. Then my Nap Launcher killed off like 1 Saurian Warrior or something. I think the Doom will also kill off like 1 Saurian Warrior. Yeah, pretty obsolete shooting actually. The Rat Ogre does what the Rat Ogre does. It kills off the Spearbags. And that's basically it. With that said, we're off to Lizard Things turn 3. Alright guys, here we go! Yes, the arrows indicate, you can all see it, he has a bunch of charges. So first of all he takes his skirmish skinks into giant rats because he needs to clear a way for his other skinks here to charge my giant rats. Then he takes the Crocsgores and the Saurian warriors and charges my rat ogres. He have had enough of the bullshit basically. He says, yeah, I can't wait for it any longer. As both me and Danny says, rather charge than to get charged.
So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
That's right, into the pile. Everybody, let's see if the lizard dreams can come true then. Alright, for the rest of the movement then, he basically just stays put with the Slamish Priest and takes the Stegadon and puts it up on the hill to make sure that he has a counter charge put in place. That's it. Also the skinks here fail their charge and the skirmish skinks made it. So that's it. Then we go into his magic phase. Well, here basically I have a picture showing how he fails the charge with the skinks, which is super unfortunate for Danny. Alright then, so in the magic phase, first of all he throws 4 dice at unerring strike on my Vermin Lord. I do all that I can to dispel that, fail to do so because I rolled like 3 1s I think on the dispel attempt, super bad. Then Danny Boy rolled a 9 on the number of hits and does I think 4 wounds to him. I armor save 1, no he did 5 wounds actually. I armor saved 1 on a 6+, and then on my 4+ Aegis with reroll because it's divine, I rolled all ward saves on the 4 first and then rolled 3 more after, so he takes 1 wound. Then he was devastated of my good Aegis saves there. I was like, come on, stuff rolls so good all the time. Like, nope, he doesn't want to go down, that's for sure. Anyway, then he buffs the combat with the rest of his magic dice, and here I also tried to dispel everything, but basically he got in every spell that he tried. So he got in rerolls to hit on the Crocsgores, and then the weapon skill buff and agility buff on the Saurian warriors. So yeah, he's also buffed to the teeth now, so this will be a super interesting combat, that's for sure. Then we went into his shooting phase, which is obsolete because the things that he has that used to shoot is dead and the rest is in combat. So into the combat phase we go. Right guys, let's get ready to...
Let's get ready to rumble!
Right, so with all the buffs and everything added into it, it means that the Saurian warriors and the rat ogres will strike at the same time. So Danny Boy says that he want to go first because he's the active player. He goes in and then does 3 wounds, I think it was, or yeah, 3 wounds with the Saurian warriors. So I think we counted this and measured it to be 2 wounds under average with the Saurian warriors, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. After that, I go back with rat ogres. I take all that I can onto his Kroxigors because they will strike after me. So I will try to minimize as many attack. Minimize the attack output that unit can possess. So I do all that I can here. I do think 7 wounds on the unit or something like that. 7 wounds on them. And then with the rest of the rat ogres that I have, I go into the Saurian warriors and do 7 more wounds there. Also, I add in a couple of stomps there as well and kill 3 more Saurian warriors with the stomp. So 17 wounds altogether from the rat ogres. Then Danny Boy goes in with his Kroxigors and rolls out of his a-hole. God, yeah, they had 9 attacks swinging back at me. Hit with everything and then does 7 wounds. Oh, ouch, yeah, so under average with the Saurian warriors, but over average with the Kroxigors. But it doesn't matter though, because I win the combat still. I think I won it with like 3 or 4. But Danny Boy, since he has attribute on both of his units, they are as close to unbreakable as you can come. so he sticks with both of his units. Also, the Saurian warriors are steadfast, which makes it look like this. And also worth noting is that little skirmish combat over on the left side, the giant rat just destroys the skinks. I think he killed maybe a giant rat or something, and then giant rat went back, killed the entire unit, well, except for one, overran that guy, and then went up here straight into the flank almost of the skinks here. So that's a bit unfortunate for the lizard things, I gotta say. With that said, we're off to turn 4 rats. Guys, so turn 4 rats, this is what we do. Okay, we take the giant rats, charges the skink's flank, why shouldn't we? And then we take the other giant rats, charges the front of the skinks. That will probably mean a dead skink unit. Then we take the big Vermin Lord and charges his Saurian warriors here. Also we take the meat grinder and charges his Kroxigors. So yeah, super nice. So smack, 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 everything makes it into combat. So that is super nice. Also here's a picture showing how the giant rats got into the combat. Here's even a better picture of it. So that's it basically. So with that said, we go over to the rest of the movement. So the Storm Vermin just keeps on pushing forward because I want to make sure that I can charge his flank later if necessary. Also the Doomwheel is putting himself into place to shoot at his Stegadon. The Naptaflower also goes into place to do that for later as well. Same goes for the Globadiers. I want to try to do as much damage to the Stegadon as possible. So if he want to try to charge my Globadiers, I will probably end him on the stand and shoot reaction. That's the whole thought process anyway. And then we have already seen this. We go over here, we go over to the magic phase, and once again now I try to now Danny is all about stopping the thing that makes me strike before him, so the number 1 spell in divination. He dispels that, but I get instead rerolls to hit and scrying on my rat ogre unit, which is also super nice. Then we go into the shooting phase, and with Gisales they finally wake up, and the Doomwheel and everything, I think I did about 3 wounds to the Stegadon, but it basically was all from Gisales, nothing else. And then we go over to the combat phase, and yeah, the giant rats just eradicates the skink unit. He barely had any skinks left after when they was done with their feasting. Then we go into this combat, and this is starting to get super interesting here actually. So first of all, the meat grinder goes in, rolls snake eyes on impact hits. Not good. But they do 2 wounds on the impact hit still though, so he doesn't save anything on that. Then the Vermin Lord goes in and kills, I think it did kill maybe 3 or 4 Saurian warriors, something around there. And then Danny goes before the Rat Ogres, kills, I think he did 7 wounds altogether with the Saurian warriors now. So now they finally wake up as well. So not good. Then the rat ogres that are left goes at his Kroxigors, try to kill them as much as possible. I think I did about 6 something wounds to the Kroxigors, basically put them down, well basically depleted their damage potential, and Then I did stomps with the big guy and the rat ogres that were left. Killed a bunch more Saurian warriors. Also his Crocsgorge, the ones that he had that swung at my rat ogres, whiffed, needing 5s to hit. Failed to do so, and then no, forced to hit was it actually. Anyway, forced to hit, failed to do so, and then the Crocsgorge that was left here failed to kill the meat grinder as well, because I did all my armor saves. That meant that he outbroke from the combat with the Saurian warriors and the Crocsgorge because he weren't steadfast any longer. And I choose here to pursue with a meat grinder, pursue with the rat ogres, and stay put with the Vermin Lord. So it looks like this after the combat. The rat ogres rolled a 1 on the pursue distance, well, a double 1, sorry, snake eyes, so that's super bad. And then the meat grinder went super crazy and rolled like a 10 or 9 or something, catch the Crocsgorge and ran right into the Temple Guards. So yeah, that's a crazy meat grinder go plunging straight into his own death. But for the rest then, yeah, has realigned the big guy because I was afraid that he would try to charge me with the Stegodon otherwise, and I really can't let him get a flank charge with the Stegodon into the big guy. Even though that the Stegodon has only 3 wounds left, it's not worth taking the risk, I feel like. So because that's one of the things about having an 850 point model with 200 plus for general bonus. So it's a 1050 point piece that is running around. You have to be super protective about the unit. That's one of the things that I am struggling with when I'm playing the Vermin Lord. So anyway, that's about it, guys. Then we go over to Lizard Things turn 4. Then guys, so basically this is how it looks like before we go into Lizard Things turn 4. And Danny Boy has an obvious charge here, of course. He takes the Stegodon, charges into the Rat Ogres. Here, though, a little bit unfortunate for him is that the Rat Ogres is in his front, actually. So he has to charge into the front, but that's actually a good thing for Danny, he feels like, because he's expecting to punch through my Rat Ogre unit and then go straight into the Doom Wheel. So he gets 2 for 1 here, he feels. After he makes the charge, of course. Then he rallies the Saurian warriors because they aren't decimated yet, so that's really good for him. That's his entire movement phase because he doesn't have much else. Then we go into his magic phase, and once again he tries to kill my Vermin Lord with his magic missiles. He gets off, I think it was he might have got off, no, he actually got off nothing because he failed to cast all his magic missiles or I dispelled them. So instead he went to buff his Temple Guards to prepare themselves for oncoming onslaught. That was basically it. After that we go into his combat phase, and yeah, well, the meat grinder goes in and kills like, I think it was 5 Temple Guards or something. Then they go back and just destroys it completely. So I'm not surprised at all. But this though, oh boy. Stegodon goes in, rolls first a 2 on impact hits. He takes up the dice, re-rolls it, gets a 3 instead. That makes it a 4. He then has to divide the impact hits because it's a character and a unit piece. So he basically takes 2 impact hits, goes into my Rat Ogre champion, kills him with impact hits. Then the other impact hit only once with one of them. I do not armor save, he does 1 wound to the Bonebreaker. After that the Bonebreaker goes back and does 1 wound, I think he did, on the Stegodon, so it's down to 2 wounds left now. And the Stegodon whiffs after that and does only 1 wound to my Rat Ogre, to the Bonebreaker. So I take 2 wound, he takes 1, he has a charge, I have a banner, I lose by 2. I then stick on a 7 rerollable. So yeah, it then looks like this. And with that said, counter charges are in place. Time to fuck up some lizards. Alright guys, so what I do here in turn 5 lizard things. Turn 5 rats. What am I saying? Turn 5 rats. So I take the big guy, charges into the Saurian warriors. I need to finish them off, I feel like. Also I take my Doom Wheel and then charges his Stegodon. It needs to die as well. That's about it. So after the charges it looks like this basically. Also, I push this up here on the left side with my Globadiers to try to make them useful for at least one turn in this game. Also, giant rats are also pushing up forward to make sure that I can use them for something later. And the storm vermin are just being put here back in place because their only mission is to claim the objective, basically. That's it. Alright, so with that said, we go into the magic phase. What I do is that I get the number 1 spell card. I have, the number 2 spell card. It's 6 dice to 5. I 3 dice scrying on the doom wheel. He lets it go, and then I try to get rerolls to hit on the big guy. He then dispels that. That's it. We go after that into the shooting phase. The Naptor thrower opens up on temper guards, kills like a temper guard. The Globadiers aren't in range yet to shoot anything, and the Giselles, I think, shot at the temper guards, killed maybe 1 or something. Nothing of importance anyway. After that, we go into the combat phase, and it basically goes as expected. The Doom Wheel destroys the Stegodon, and then just continues on into the Temple Guards, because I need to make sure that I pin him in place. That's all what I want to do here. Also here, the sneaky lizard thing started to realize that he can challenge the Vermin Lord, which is one of the bad aspects of having the Vermin Lord as well. He has to accept the challenge. He challenges with his champion. I destroys the champion with max overkill, and then he sticks there because I think he was steadfast, or if not, then he's stuck anyway, because he had his divine attribute up on him and was down to leadership 4, I think it was, with reroll. So that's it. With that said, we're off to lizard things, turn 5. And we are basically pinned in place here, so we go straight into the magic phase. He buffs his temper guards to make sure that they will stay in place here. Also, he takes some shamanist spell, I think it was +1 in strength, throws it on his temper guards, which gives his little shaman bastard over here scarification. Then we go into the close combat. He then challenges out my Vermin Lord with his shaman, which is super annoying, because then I will only wound him on 5s. We then go into combat. I do 2 wounds to him. He does nothing to me. I win again, but he sticks. Then the Doom Wheel here goes in, kills 2-3 Temple Guards or something. He goes back and just utterly destroys it. So as expected though. With that, we then it's gonna look like this basically after the combat phase. Danny just keeps on looking forward, because he's not interested in charging the Vermin Lord. He feels like he basically want to use his magic missiles instead to try to plink off some of my valuable targets. Anyway, with that said, we're off to the last turn of the game, turn 6, rats. And this is what I do basically, guys. I push up everything towards him, surround him with what I have left. So it's gonna look something like this. This is how it looks at the last turn of the game. I move back the Naptor thrower to shoot at his temper guards. I push up the Globadiers to hurl some globes at him. The Bonebreaker BSB is just running around to make sure that he's not getting charged either. And the SS will just try to plink off a temper guard or so. With that said, we go into my magic phase. I cast some buffs that is of no importance really. I then go into the shooting phase, try to kill as many temper guards as I can, kill 4 or 5 temper guards at most. That's it basically. We then go into combat. I kill his shaman, but only with like 1 overkill or something. He sticks again on a leadership 6 rollable. That's it. Then we go into the last turn of the game. Lizard things, turn 6. Danny boy is gonna do this, and this basically turns around his temper guard unit, hurls that unerring strike onto my BSB. I dispel that, and then he has like 1 dice left after he has tried to cast unerring strike. Rolls the D3 Fate's Judgment part, gets it, does 3 wounds on the D3. I then has a 3-up armor save. Roll 1, 1, 2. And yeah, there goes the BSB.
Disappointed! Disappointed! Very disappointed! Disappointed! Disappointed!
So super disappointing, but what can I say? Also, the giant rats that wasn't in the Vermin Lord leadership bubble flees, of course, so he gets half from them as well, but the rest of the units stick, so that's at least something. Then we go into the close combat, and yeah, the Vermin Lord does what the Vermin Lord always does. He just utterly destroys the Saurian warrior unit. I think he had, if he had anything, it was like one Saurian warrior that ran off the table or something. But yeah, he had a good feast here, that's for sure. With that said, we are off to look at the result, guys. Here ends the game. Bam, bam, bam. Alright guys, so how did this go? So basically, this Temple Guard unit, I don't know if you guys have faced lizards before or you know anything about them, but this unit is worth a crap ton. So when we measure up the points and everything, it's gonna be more even than you guys expect. The thing that is going for the rats though is that they have broke through and got the objective with the storm vermins here, so that's super nice. But let's move over and see what the result ended like. Okay then guys, yeah, it still ended up a victory to the filthy rats, my lovely little rats. It was 11-9 on the score. I think I won with like 250 or 260 points, so it was super close. And then I got the secondary objective, so it basically ended up a 14-6 to the rats, guys. That's how it ended like. Alright everybody, thank you all for watching. I certainly hope you enjoyed this battle report. If you did, then please press the like button. Share this content so more viewers can get into the Knife Age fold. And guys, feel free to put down a comment and tell me what you thought about the battle report. Anyway guys, until we see each other for the next time, take care everybody and peace.